Hello and welcome to the first semi-final of the ESL Dawn of War. It is War Tournament 3. I'm going to have to shorten this name if I'm going to be doing this every week. It's going to just become ESL EU3. This game is Bikerushownz in his traditional awful colour scheme. Very garish. Versus this darker black and blue colour by our friend KiF1rE. I apologise, KiF1rE, if I am saying your name wrong. I'm going to keep on KiF1rE's side so that I can remember his name a bit better. And I'm going to try and keep the colours the same throughout the game to avoid any confusion. We have the standard three heroes coming down from Bikerushownz. We got the Striking Scorpions, Autox, Kyle, and the Wraith Lord. And a similar loadout from KiF1rE, except rather than having the Wraith Lord, he has the Farseer Maka, which means he doesn't have the faster webways, I believe, which is an interesting choice, as that seems to be considered one of the strongest points of the faction, but maybe he thinks after the bug with it was fixed that it's not as strong as it was. He has pushed up on this side, which is denying Bikerushownz's normal aggressive capture of this back point. He himself is doing an attempted aggressive capture of this back point with the Dire Avenger shooting over the wall. And so a boy Bikerushownz is going to counter with his own. Splitting the map diagonally here. Very similar play from both our players again. This matchup does definitely seem to be sort of one of the most consistently found out matchups from what I've seen. Although I haven't seen many Orc v Orcs, to be fair. I don't think I haven't streamed a single Orc versus Orc, so Bikerushownz taking some bad grenade hits, honestly, but making use of his web singer, even though it will get taken out without doing much. Scouting over here with his other one, bone singers. I think I keep calling them web singers. Webways, bone singers. All right. I'm still not great with the names. The webway from Bikerushownz has been more aggressively positioned. Dire Avenger splitting up from KiF1rE. Could be dangerous, but he's just going to take this middle point. Going to catch this bone singer pretty badly. He's going to teleport out. Point here cannot be taken by this bone singer. Is the bone singer also? The bone singer is also 1 DPS, just like the Gretchen. Missed grenade there. Good little bit of micro there by Bikerushownz. All of both sides' troops should be within fleet of foot range quite well. Another grenade hit there from Bikerushownz though. And a miss coming up a bit too short here from KiF1rE. This is going to get taken back by Bikerushownz now. But Bikerushownz... Oh, he does have the 4 there. They're just stacked together pretty heavily. So it's 4 Dire Avenger squads versus 4 Dire Avenger squads. The very typical Eldar versus Eldar. And now, if everyone goes on like normal, there would be just some fighting around with these squads and the Striking Scorpions until they decide to go for their Sky Portal and get a Falcon and some Vipers out. However, we heard just there's another Dire Avenger squad on the field from KiF1rE. There comes another from Bikerushownz as well. Is that a 5th Dire Avenger squad? That is a 5th Dire Avenger squad. So 5 versus 5. This squad doesn't want to get caught here, especially as the Striking Scorpions come in. This is going to be really upsetting. Although it looks like Bikerushownz might get caught in his own way on the other side. Good grenade though is going to hit most of the Striking Scorpions, but he will still go down, and this is going to mean that both sides are now, by the looks of it, going to trade their portals, shield generators. However, Bikerushownz is not leaving his Dire Avengers with his Striking Scorpions. The Striking Scorpions, as you can see, do incredible damage to these shields. This shield is not even much faster. This Bone Singer giving her life valiantly to defend it. And these Dire Avengers are going to go up to this side and try to destroy the economy of KiF1rE a bit, with the Webway Gate coming up to support them. Striking Scorpions on their own take out the shield generator. Striking Scorpions here. Actually going to push up for the shield generator. I don't know how much of a good idea this is. Bikerushownz taking out the economy as the awkward reloading happens. Looks like the shield generator is going to go down. This is quite an impressive work. It's a little bit of bad micro there. This Bone Singer desperately trying to get in melee with some of these, but the turret will go down. A shield generator going down on the other side from Bikerushownz. And KiF1rE is actually just pushing straight up into Bikerushownz's base. It looks like he's going to actually go for the core. This is incredibly aggressive, but the TP back from Bikerushownz's Dire Avengers, leaving just his Striking Scorpions to finish this off, means that he will probably be able to chase these out of his base. He's now gone 2 shields for a shield and a turret, but KiF1rE is going for adding in some Dark Reapers. He's now getting his 3rd squad of Dark Reapers, which is an interesting change from how Bikerushownz and other elders I've seen have been playing this matchup. Bikerushownz looks like he's staying on his traditional, just playing with the Dire Avenger Striking Scorpion and then going to try and tech up. But although in terms of objectives they went slightly equal, if a bit better for KiF1rE, KiF1rE also lost all of his points over here. So overall he is in quite an economic loss. Going for the Soul Shrine, getting tier 2. Same coming around from Bikerushownz, although he is getting his Warrior Portal out, as he often does like to do. Not in every game. So, these Dark Reapers, they're gonna mean that he has more power, I guess, in a fight, if they can get a straight up fight. However, with their... they actually do less DPS than Dire Avengers. They just do true damage rather than normal damage. But against normal armor, that isn't going to matter. So until we get some vehicles out in the field, this might not matter. They're going to do very good at damaging these buildings, though. Maka is also going to give them an advantage to make up for the slight weakness of the Dire Reapers right now. And it means that when this Sky Portal comes down and we get some vehicles out, they are going to be better at taking out those vehicles. We're going to have the slower time, and it looks like Infantry Portal coming out. So this is basically the other style of Eldar that we haven't been seeing as much. Once you get to late game, you do normally get both the Infantry Portal and the Sky Portal, and sometimes you will sort of have a bit of both. Sometimes you'll change between them depending on what the enemy's doing. But in an Eldar vs Eldar, I normally see people go for the Sky Portal, but this is looking like a much more standing army style of Eldar from KiF1rE, which is very interesting. Sneaky Dire Avengers going to hit a great grenade there, but sort of a bit more cheeky than actually possibly going to do anything. Looking to push the side slightly. Bikerushownz being a bit more passive than we're used to seeing him, because he's had this early tower down and his core is actually entirely open. This I don't know. He's seen the whole army because he threw that plasma grenade at it, so he also knows what this army is. And I'm assuming what he's thinking is if he can get a Falcon out, he can move around and harass some of these side points much better. And if he can get a good fight where the Falcon does not get targeted by these Dark Reapers, the Falcon will still chew through them. This is like Tank Busters. They may do good against the Falcon, but the Falcon will still do good against them. These Scorpions now on the hunt. Gonna come back on these Dire Avengers from the back, but the rest of KiF1rE's army is coming down to fight them. You can see on the minimap there that Falcon coming down here. Actually could get caught out here. If KiF1rE notices, KiF1rE is going to see. And his Dark Reapers are setting up. The shield is going to block a lot of Dark Reaper shots there. These Dark Reapers do require that setup, which means that the Falcon can get in there and get a few shots off and leave without taking too much damage, as long as his shields are good. We've had the Wraith Guard teleported in here. sort of caught out a bit by these, and since they do armor-piercing damage, they do a lot of damage, but it's not as useful as it is against these tanks. We now have Autuck Kyle here. 2 Falcons. So this is actually a decently powerful anti-Falcon army coming out here. And a great combo by the Autuck there. These Falcons coming in, but these Dark Reapers are set up, so they have to be careful. They're coming in, targeting down the Dark Reapers. 2 squads of those Dark Reapers were taken out by Kyle, which already sets him up well for this fight. He also got Kyle immediately after he'd taken out those to get into melee combat with the Wraith Guard so that they could not get their armor-piercing hits onto the Falcons. And now it's just heroes versus the whole army of Bikerush, because all of his Dire Avengers didn't really need to be in that fight. Good Mecha hit there, just takes out the shields on those Dire Avengers. And now our boy KiF1rE is in a real trouble. Maka's going to go down. He actually has 0 forces now. He's not making anything. He's floating a ton of money, but he doesn't really know what to do with it. He's going to make from everything he can right now. He doesn't have enough for anything from his infantry portal. 175 and 225 power. He's only got the requisition. Got enough for another Dire Avengers if he wants, but he might want to save these for another set of Dark Reapers. And meanwhile, Bikerush is doing what he does, just taking the whole map. He's not worried about ending this game quickly. He knows he has this huge advantage. He's just moving stuff around, making his own infantry portal over this side, taking every resource point on the map. And now he knows that this army can't get that big from KiF1rE. Unless he makes some big mistake here in terms of micro, he's out. And Kyle can even scout the base there, see what's happening. He sees that there are troops being remade. More Dark Reapers coming out from KiF1rE. But we may also be seeing... We're not seeing any... Oh, that's actually getting relocated. Back up to here. Interesting. We're not actually seeing any more of this come down. I assume that all of Bikerush's money is gone into making this. And yeah, just sort of sitting around taking the whole map. Oh, KiF1rE's units moved out a bit too far here. If this pulls back... No, that stopped too early. That's not going to pull anything back. Bikerush does know that he should be able to end the game whenever. Load of Dire Avengers around here. Some Dark Reapers of his own as well. Just a couple of squads.
You can relocate a base structure. A base structure is
Looks like he's trying to sort of lay in wait for an attempted retake of this position. Feel like a common trend I'm starting to see with Bikerush is sort of a refusal to end games. Now, this is very likely a side effect, quite a bit of the fact that this game is sort of still, you know, in its infancy, very early on. Players might not always be confident about what they need to end the game against another good player. They've had some micro blunders before and don't want that to happen again. He's going to try and pull all these units together, hit him with a big slam. And now they've got the 2 Falcons coming in here. His bait on up this side actually worked. And I hope now he goes for the game end. He's just trying to kill these Wraith Guards. He's playing, you know, a bit of the Artosis style here. The went ahead, just get more ahead. You don't need to risk anything. You know you have the game. Just for the viewers, I would perhaps prefer if he Didn't drag some of these games out quite as long. You may be right that with some... Oh my god. These Wraith Guards. These shiny gold Wraith Guards. I still struggle to call this gold. It's sort of this weird green tinted gold. It looks more gold on these guys, but that is just awful. I feel like it's so Bikerush though. From what I've watched of his stream, it's so his personality to just be like, yeah, bitch, I'm gonna have gold guns, let's go.
Summoning Dark Reapers.
So, KiF1rE is gonna fight to the end, valiantly, gonna just try and get enough Dark Reapers, spread them out for the incoming fight that he can take something out. But if we just look down here, we can see KiF1rE's troops. And if we hit this button, we can compare that to Bikerush's.
We have lost a power generator.
And so, you know, with capturing all of this map, even got a lot of these points upgraded. Well, one of these points upgraded. Just gonna hang about. If nothing happens too soon, I will start ×2ing a little bit. I know you sort of shouldn't in a cast, but this game is sort of so clearly ahead for Bikerush. And he's just being safe. He doesn't want to accidentally throw anything. Normally do admire the sort of just being safe, when you're ahead, get more ahead sort of mentality, but he's got 2 heroes. 1 Wraith Guard squad. A couple of Dark Reapers.
Summoning Wraith Guard.
More Wraith Guards coming out from Bikerush. Let's do this. Let's speed this up a little bit. Gonna come up here, try and take this side. Maka gonna actually get pulled over this side. Kyle gonna get pulled over that side. Then he's just gonna, fly away and just go back onto Maka down there. Maka gonna get killed by these Falcons. Striking Scorpions are out now. Maka's last stand pops. Kyle picked up. Run away a bit. Gonna float these Falcons around, just sort of playing with these Falcons, seeing what you can get done with them. I wonder if Bikerush doesn't even want to end this game. I wonder if Bikerush is like, you try and build up, and then you come out and you fight me, and I will kill all of your army, and then once I've killed all your army, you will be upset and you will leave. I heard a shout flagging there. I think his Kyle might have actually died. His Kyle did die. He didn't manage to save that. And here we go. There we go. After that, he's like, okay, I can't play around now. I can't be silly. I can't try and get you out. You've actually made an army. You're actually pushing me out a bit. Dark Reaper's going back here to heal. There's a load of them out there. Oh, maybe he's not. Maybe he's just saving up this big army of gold men. Just floating around. He's going to actually push this right turret? I hope so. Just spreading his Dire Avengers out. These Scorpions just scouting them all. Scorpion's going to go into his base and scout the big army of gold men.
Power generator complete.
He now knows what he's up against.
Turret is light enemy contact.
Bikerush, there we go. He's got his Wraith Lord. He's going to come in with his Wraith Lord. 1 squad of Wraith Guards for some reason. 2 Falcons. just making it absolutely 100% certain he can't lose to backdoor. And this looks like it will be the last battle here. He's actually sending the rest of his big army of gold men out across the field. Falcons microing round. Wraith Lord and Wraith Guard slamming on this core.
You can create a webway link between base structures.
Kaya trying to pull in these Wraith Guard, but I don't think they care that much. Wraith Lord turning on Kaya. Actually, he's going to manage to take him out with the help of these Falcons. Oh no, he's not gone. Eldritch Storm coming in. Gonna try and wipe out all these units. I believe that is actually. I think that's yeah. Oh, I've switched to Bike Rush. My bad. My bad. You can see this big, ridiculous army that he has. You can see some more of his Wraith Guards arriving. He's still got some Wraith Guards over here just to defend. Some Wraith Guards, everything. Throwing a small part of his force wasn't enough. But then, KiF1rE ends it for us. Giving it in. Well played to him. Well played to Bikerushownz, although I would have liked to maybe see him push to end the game a little later. Playing super safe, making sure he couldn't get backdoored at all. Not a chance in hell. And he will win this first game of this best of 3 in the semi-finals of the ESL EU Cup.